Hello, you beautiful music creatives. My name is Mac Boris. I'm the founder of Musician Guidance, and it is my privilege to officially welcome you all to the Musician Guidance webinar in collaboration with Diverse Beats Promo, Soundspace, and Vibe. Today, we'll be unlocking the soundtrack to success through helping you master music promotion and sync licensing. And to feature in today's event, we have the honor to be joined by Serhat Gedik, a serial entrepreneur, international musician, and social media enthusiast. Without further ado, Surat, it's always a pleasure to chat. How is life treating you, my friend?
Well, thank you for welcoming me, Mag. It's always a pleasure talking to you as well. Definitely. Everything is going quite good in life. Business is going quite well. We're improving, developing by the day, making more connections, reaching out to more people, and working with musician enthusiasts like yourself has, definitely been very helpful, especially lately. So can't complain. Everything's going great. Grateful.
Awesome.
Definitely
I'm
great.
happy to hear that. And I'm eager to get started on this event too,
Definitely.
because we've been
Let me just,
chatting about this for a while, and
yeah,
I know it's going to be extremely valuable. The questions we're going to go over are submitted directly from our community, so
definitely.
there's going to be so much value for them. But just before we get into that, I'd like to give you a chance to share a little bit more about yourself.
Sure, definitely. So I'm Serhat Gedik. I'm from Northern Cyprus, and I was born and raised in this country up until the age of 19. And I moved to England when I was 19. So that is the first time I footstep into England.
Mhm.
And I remember the first night I was going in my cousin's car where he picked me up, and I was like, "Wow, that's a double decker." And my cousin was like, "Look, cousin, that's a house."
Wow.
So you know what I mean? But fast forward, I've been in music since the age of 15. I was first in a band playing the rhythm guitar, and I still got the guitar right here. And
Right on.
that's that. And then around 18, that's when I started going into electronic music, DJing, learning about decks and vinyls, collecting vinyls, playing vinyls, and all that kind of good stuff. And I mean, I've DJed for 22 years since the age
Wow.
of six. I think I started DJing around that time as well, and I DJed for a very long time. And while I was in my DJing career, I started making connections, not knowing that I will be using most of those connections in the future.
Hmm.
But overall, I've been in the music industry for 20 plus years. Been working with very good people, marvelous people, great connections. And I set up my first company back in 2017, which was just an Instagram page to start with.
Okay.
And that's a whole other story. But a lot of people know that story now. It's a bit of a funny one as well. But I was literally in the bathroom while I created that page. I had no idea whatsoever. So I just basically saw a few pages posting pictures. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do that as well. I need to have a diversion in my career. You know what I mean? Because I was just DJing at the
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and vice versa. So that started as an Instagram channel and then created the pathway of vibe, sound space, and diverse beats, and
Right.
God knows what else. Yeah.
I guess the question is, where would you be if you didn't have to go to the bathroom then, right?
That's a question to answer. um, I wasn't single at the time, so I probably would have been in the bedroom.
Okay.
But lucky I was in the bathroom.
Well,
Crazy.
well, that's a very cool story. I appreciate you sharing that. I love to hear, people's upbringing and all that, because that's so unique to them and so unique to their journey, and it really gives an idea of how you got to where you are today. And so, with all of that, I think it's time we dive into this event. What do you say?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Awesome. So yeah, as I touched on, we have a ton of questions. They're going to be encapsulated in two topics. The first is going to be music promotion, and then the second is going to be sync licensing. So first of
Definitely.
all, starting off with the first topic, music promotion here. The first question from our community is, how can I effectively promote my music to gain more visibility and reach a larger audience?
So the very simple answer to that is continuously and aiming longevity. Those are the two answers I will give to that question.
Okay.
You need to be on a constant promotion venture that is not going to be ending, regardless, even if you make it in industry. Have you seen any of those big artists stop promoting once they made it? I don't think so. Ed Sheeran is still promoting the hell out of his new album or his new song. Likewise, whoever was famous or whoever is famous, rest in peace, Michael Jackson, or so on and so forth. You know what I mean? I can't really think of any names at the moment, but I mean, all the names that Drake, 50 Cent, just you name it, you know what I mean? Justin Bieber, whoever is on top, continuously they promoting their music and not stopping. And
Yeah.
one-time promo may not work out, but this doesn't mean you got scammed. This means you have taken a step, and he has definitely given back to you some feedback. Maybe not what you was hoping for. Maybe it didn't turn you into a superstar overnight, but that never happens anyway. It
Exactly.
never. You know what I mean? That if anyway, we'll dive back into this later on. But to answer that question, continuous promotion and never stop, and just keep on going all the time. Just keep promoting, keep promoting, keep promoting.
Absolutely. I mean, I was on Facebook ad library several months ago, and for those of you that don't know what that is, you're basically able to see all ads that people are running. So I was looking at Ed Sheeran, for example, and at the time I was looking at this, he had over 150 plus ads running, selling
Yes.
tickets to his shows, promoting his album and stuff like that. And so it's like, as you just touched on there, the greats are never, they're not stopping. And even if we relate back to like sports, for example, what's the first thing you hear about the great sports players? That they're the first in the gym in the morning and they're the last to leave because they're putting in that work. So consistency, as you touched on, is so important. And so yeah, I guess building off that and kind of diving into the next question, for artists that are releasing music and want to, start promoting it, but are on an indie budget, do you have some tips for them so that they can best utilize the budget that they have?
Yeah, of course. So we're talking about indie an indie budget. Let's just say $100 for the argument's sake. $100
Sure.
is your monthly budget, which is an indie budget, and it's still a good budget. To be fair, it's a good budget to start with. $100 of budget will definitely get you some new listeners and some new followers if you use it correct. Now you need to have a strategy. And I can, from on top of my head, I can give you this strategy that I personally created, and it has gained me a lot of followers, a lot of listeners, and a lot of subscribers. Call it whatever you like. But here is how it goes: create a video that is captivating. That's because people's attention span is becoming shorter by the day.
For sure. Yep.
First 4 to 5 seconds is where you make the sale. So in terms of an artist perspective, it is where you actually gather the listener or a subscriber. First 4 to 5 seconds. So when you are creating an online video for a story promo, which you're going to spend $10, $15 from your $100 budget, make sure that you don't start your video from the intro of your song, and make sure that you drag it all the way to the drop or the whatever you want to call it. We call it drop, or the explosion, or the bridge, whatever you want to call it,
Right.
where the chorus hits, where the drop hits. That is where you start the promo video, and that's where you actually capture the attention of the listeners. If you want to capture new listeners and new followers, new subscribers, this is crucial. If you start the song from intro, people are going to get bored. They're going to be like, oh, what is this? I don't have time to listen to the intro. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
that is that. So create the video, make sure to start from the chorus or the drop, 15 seconds to 20 seconds video, and make sure when you are promoting it, if you're promoting it as reels or in stories, make sure to attach your links to it. Hey, listen to the full version. Here's the link. Click and go to the link and listen. That's it.
Absolutely. I think that's great advice, and attention spans are that of a goldfish right now. So totally agree with that. One thing I'd like to dive into and kind of follow up on that is you mentioned stories there and stuff. So are you thinking that, Facebook and Instagram ads are the best places to run these ads?
To start with, yeah.
Okay.
To start with, definitely Facebook and Instagram ads to start with. If you want to be a bit more aggressive, then definitely TikTok, 100% TikTok all day long. I mean,
Right.
although I dislike the app itself, it works. It works.
Absolutely. So I guess even I'll push you to dive a little further into that is I know when you go on Meta Business Manager, there
Mhm.
are a ton of conversions you can optimize for. You can optimize for, I guess, conversions, you can optimize for engagement, you can optimize for awareness and stuff like that. For those that want to get streams on their music. So you mentioned, show 15 seconds of the song and then have a link to click through to listen to it all. What metric should they be utilizing on Meta Business Manager? Should it be reach? Should it be landing page views?
I mean, I personally believe it should be definitely a landing page, such as the link will definitely direct them to Spotify mainly, which is where everything is happening. Spotify link,
Right.
where they can actually land onto the page of the artist, listen to that particular tune, and if they happen to like it, which that's the reason why they clicked on the link in the first place, because they like what they heard. So
Mm-hmm.
they're most likely to listen to the remaining tunes on that page as well, and perhaps they will become a new follower. You know what I mean? So a
Yep.
landing page conversion is what I will recommend, but obviously each to their own, and you are free to try and fail or try and win and learn. You know what I mean? I don't see it as a failure. You will always learn. So try and try and try and see which one works out the best.
Absolutely. And there's one thing you just mentioned there, which I really liked, which was you mentioned that make sure that landing page is of the song that they clicked on to go there. Because if it's of another song, hoping that, you can direct them to listen to something else. Yeah, I see you shaking your head. That's not why they clicked on it, right? So it's
That's it.
important to have the landing page consistent with what the ad
Exactly.
shows. Yeah. Great point.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Definitely. Cheers,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, no worries. And so, okay, moving on here. Next question is, I guess, for more of an ideal case. It's definitely not many artists, but for those where, money isn't too much of a issue, how much should they be investing into promoting their music?
Well, I mean, this is definitely it's a broad topic. It's
Right.
definitely depends on what your budget is. As if you ask me, as an indie artist, you can start with, okay, so let's rewind it back to the beginning of the conversation.
Sure.
If you're living on your own, you got rent, you got this, you got that, you got expenses. Let's cover that first. Like, apart from all your expenses, put your expenses aside, you have got living costs. You're gonna want to go out. You're gonna want to do this, do that, do that.
Hmm.
So it all comes down to your priorities. After your priorities out, how much do you really value your career? This is the
Right.
crucial. This is the crucial point. People come up to me. Just today, I received 26 emails in terms of sync and promotion, and I still have to go through them. People come up to me and ask me, why do you charge for your services? We're going to touch base onto that one later on. But if you value your career, you will change your priorities, except for your expenses, cost of living and whatnot. They're a must.
Right.
But instead of going out every so often, cut them down. And if you really want to make it in the music industry, invest in your career. So after everything is paid for in your life, your day-to-day life, you have got $600 of budget, or $700 or $1,000 of budget to invest in your music. I'm not saying go ballistic and invest every single penny, but if you really want to make it, invest a good chunk of that into promotion, and don't go blindly trying to promote yourself with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Have a strategy in your mind and have a strategy in your hand written down. Get a piece of paper. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try all of this
Hmm.
until one of these strategies works out. I'm going to keep trying. And guess what? I'm not going to fail because I'm learning. Failure is never an option. It's always either winning or learning. People need to erase that failure word from their vocabulary, because there's never such thing called fail. It's
Right.
learning.
I like
So
that.
according to your budget, definitely try to change your priorities in your life for a certain amount of time. Get that money from going out, discos, clubbing, and whatnot, and then put that money into your budget. Get them all together collectively and invest in your career. 300, 400, 500, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. Whatever you can invest, invest. That's what you should be doing. Rather than going out with your friends all the time, trying to chase after girls or boys, whatever, invest in your career. That's what's going to get you to where you want to get in your life.
Absolutely. And as you touched on there, though, without a strategy, you can burn money quite quickly on promoting the wrong things, on not having your message consistent, having the landing page different than the song. Would you be able to touch on a few strategies that you have found to work best?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I, before I set up Diverse Beats, late 2019, early 2020, 2020s, it was literally right in the middle. Like I started setting up the whole infrastructure for Diverse Beats late 2019. And when I launched the company, the Corona bloody thing hit right
I've
in
heard
the
of
middle.
it.
Yeah. All the DJs were stuck at home. I saw that as an opportunity. Everyone's doing live streams.
Right.
Give me your emails, blah, 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 blah. And then songs. Here you go, play, 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 play. You know, and videos. It was good. It was very good. It was very nice.
Yeah.
So strategy. Your question was strategy, right? Strategies. I believe you should definitely, to start with, stay away from all these fake stream sellers or fake follower sellers. All these companies that claim to be selling organic streams. If you pay me $30, I'll give you 50K of streams. When it's organic, you cannot predict the number.
Right.
You cannot tell me if you pay me $30, I'll give you 50K streams. No. If you want me to give you 50K streams, I will, let's just say, give me 6 months. I will get your song into so playlists. And here on my playlist, by the way, 100,000 subscribers, million subscribers on this playlist, blah, blah, blah. And I will need at least 6 months. And here is how much it costs. And if I have not managed to get you 50K streams by the end of 6 months, I will carry on until I achieve the numbers. Now that's legit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not telling you to give me $30 and I'll give you 50K streams in 2 days. Boom. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's that. First strategy, stay away from the fake sellers, fake numbers, fake streamers. Second strategy, I would say, definitely try what is popping at the moment, whichever platform is popping, and also try the ones that are not popping, because that's where sometimes the miracle happens. LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
People are sleeping in their fifth dimension dream on LinkedIn. Trust me, the amount of business I have been creating on LinkedIn, because it's a business platform, but I'm talking music business. I'm not saying I'm not in the work, I'm not in the business of economics or this or that. No, I'm in the business of music, and I'm creating a lot of business. I'm getting streams, I'm getting plays, I'm getting followers, and a lot more from LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is packed with musicians.
Yep.
So test all the platforms. Go for the ones that are actually popping, but try the ones that are not really being quite mentioned. Check out YouTube videos, check out Google, check out, ask,
Absolutely.
learn, develop. Don't be scared. No one's going to laugh at you because you're trying something new. Even if they laugh at you, tell them to, because you're trying something new. This is how it works. Don't be afraid.
Yep. Absolutely. And I think each social media platform either has a different audience, or that audience is in a different mindset when they're using it. So even if me, for example, when I'm on LinkedIn and when I'm on TikTok, I'm in a totally different mindset. When I'm on LinkedIn, I'm there to do business. I'm there to connect. I think that's how we connected actually.
Yeah.
So exploring these new platforms, I know I've had artists say like, oh, but my audience is also on TikTok, so I'll just reach them on TikTok, right? And that's fair in theory, but it's their mindset is different when they're on each platform. So definitely, I mean, I live by LinkedIn too, and I think there's so much room for opportunity on there as well. So I
So much.
appreciate you sharing that. Yeah,
You're
definitely.
welcome. You're welcome.
Awesome. And so okay, we talked about a few strategies there. We originally were talking about Facebook ads, directing them to a landing page. Then we
Yes.
talked about playlisting.
Yes.
So I guess the next step is when you're getting this, promotion, when you're doing this marketing, how can artists capitalize on that next step from it so that they can turn that listener, for example, into like a fan that is going to, listen to every one of their songs, that is going to buy their merchandise, that is going to buy tickets to their upcoming gigs and stuff like that.
Stay relevant and make good music.
Okay, that simple.
I mean, stay relevant and make good music and keep consistency as a life philosophy. I'm not saying go and make a new song and publish it every 2 weeks. No,
Right.
but also don't wait 2 years until you publish a new song because you are not Ed Sheeran, you are not 50 Cent, you are not
Mhm.
Drake, you are not whoever yet. You are not any of these artists. These artists that have got the comfort zone of waiting 2, 3 years or 4, 5 years to publish a new album. They can do that.
Right.
You can't. You need to keep on promoting, keep on publishing, have a strategy as an artist. Okay, every 3 months, I'm going to make a new song and I'm going to publish it. And I give myself 3 months to promote my other song while I'm working on this other song. So 3 months, promote
Mhm.
this current music. By the end of the third month, publish your new song, distribute your new song, or maybe 6 months. Don't have to be three. I'm just giving. I'm just throwing numbers.
Right.
Whatever works out for you, do that. 3, 6, 4, whatever. But have a constant strategy that you can follow, and create your own small strategies within that time frame. Here's the video. Here is the landing page, whatever it is. Could be your SoundCloud link, could be your Spotify, could be your very own website
Mhm.
link, which is great. Anything. And also try to sustain the level of quality.
Yeah.
Important as hell. I received song submissions for my record label, which I haven't told you about, by the way. I also have a record label. That's also
What
going
aren't you
on.
doing right now?
I'm doing a lot of things, man, and it's all popping off. I'm quite happy about it. So it's good. It's just a little side project, but it's going nice.
Right.
Last two releases we have. Okay, so we had one release that has received just over 200,000 streams in like a month, which is good
Okay.
for us.
Yeah.
Numbers. And our last release in 3 days received 75K streams on Spotify, which is also amazing numbers. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all good.
That's
It's
awesome.
Yeah, thank you. So it is all because of diverse beats. Also, you know what I mean? So it's all doing
Yeah.
good. But that's what I'm trying to say to you. Like, have a strategy, have your song release time frame. So let's just say I'm gonna be releasing a song this week, and I'm gonna promote this tune. I'm gonna promote the hell out of this tune for the next 6 months and see what I can do. Like if you are seeing your friends going out all the time and you want to be like them, like you're not in the business of making music, you're in the business of having fun, which is also fine. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
it's cool. You want to have fun. You're young. I understand. I totally understand. I was there. I've done all of that. But having fun at the time, it was cool. Comes reality where everyone goes home and you're left alone. Now what are you gonna do? You didn't follow your passion. What's
Right.
next? You know what I mean? So consistency, that's the key. That's the key of that's the ultimate target I've been hitting for the last 4 or 5 years. I've been telling everyone, keep on being consistent. That's it.
Absolutely. Consistency is key. I've probably said that I don't know how many times over the last several years, but it's So true. And even like you were mentioning there, the big artists that maybe don't release a single or an album for 3, 5, even 10 years, they're still consistent in the sense that they're usually showing up somewhere, even if that's in a printer ad, even if that's, some sponsorship deal they're doing. So even the biggest stars that maybe aren't releasing music as much as us fans would like, they're even still, staying relevant, even on Cameo, for example, booking them on Cameo. So I don't think anyone can really back away from the spotlight and expect to keep the fans that they had, the traction that they had, and especially for artists that are on the up and coming and trying to build that fan base. So important to be consistent because yeah, nobody can take a step back and then come back without uh, taking a hit, so to speak. So again, great advice there. And I want to dive into, I mean, we've talked a lot about a promotion, but more specifically, kind of breaking it down. So there's, press you can get, there's playlisting you can get, you can build an email list, you can focus on growing your TikTok following. Each of these probably has a different goal. For example, like if you want streams, and maybe go the route of playlisting. If you want to build clout in a certain area, maybe go the route of blogs. But for artists that kind of are wanting to go full time in their career, I guess, what promotion would be best for them to utilize?
Does this involve money as well, or without the money, or just anything?
Um, Well, maybe let's do both. So I guess for first of all, from the indie artist standpoint, so
Okay.
they have we'll say a few $100 a month they can devote to their music, and yeah.
Still a good budget. Still definitely a good budget. So if you are an indie artist, which most artists are, and you have like a couple of $100 of budget, I would recommend you to start sourcing out all of your free opportunities first. Now, don't go to a big company and ask for something free. Don't get me wrong, but there are also a lot of companies or blog posts, like you said, blogs. A
Mhm.
lot of them out there that are looking for content to create. So they're looking for artists like all these people who are seeking out free stuff, free promotion. So they're not obviously going to come in like this is where most artists, I'm sorry, please don't take this personal, any artist, but please, but this is where most artists are becoming delusional. They think that someone at midnight, right around 12 o'clock a.m., gonna knock on their door with a stick. I'm gonna turn you into a superstar tonight. That is never going to happen. It has never happened. It will never happen. You, as an artist, it is your absolute duty to go out there and search and search and search and search. And finally, you are going to knock on the right person's door. And that person is going to open up a door for you that is going to lead to another door, another door, another door. And then, you know what I mean? You're going to
Mhm.
have doors. Make contacts, have a list, like you said, create an emailing list, start on reaching out to free blogs. Free blogs are always good way of starting. Create your very own emailing list. So if you create an emailing list, every time you have a new single coming out, you send out to the emailing list. If you start receiving back some feedback, and let's just say some of them are okay with your music and are already supporting it, but some of them are telling you, oh, I don't like the bass or I don't like the hi-hat. Don't take it to heart. Like, you're not going
Right.
to please everyone. What you can do is listen to those feedbacks and take it as constructive criticism, right? And then apply those changes into your music and try to make your music sound better. It's never going to be perfect, but it can be better. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
free blogs, emailing lists, and with the couple of $100, which should be your, as an indie artist, your last resort. All right. After you finish reaching out to all the free stuff that you can manage to get your hands on, now you have a couple $100 or maybe $300. Now you can go out there, do your research, and start getting paid promotion. Also, it is the one that's most likely going to work out the best because these people, including us, we deliver variety of services and we deliver value.
Hmm.
We have all these companies, including us. We are showing the results. We're not just asking you to pay us money so we don't give you nothing in returns. Like as Diverse Beats, if I'm asking you to give me $100, I'm telling you, look, here are my results. Look at my happy clients. Look at my returning clients. I'm providing value. That's why these people are keep on coming back to me. So if you pay me $100, for instance, I'm gonna give you the same results. I'm gonna do my best. And if I don't achieve the results within the time frame that I promised, I will not take a single penny from you extra because you pay me up front, but I will carry on working until I achieve the results that I said I will be able to deliver. This is what we do. You know
Right.
what I mean? But a free blog posts, it's gonna be like, cool, here's an article. There you go, take it. It's fine. You know, it's something,
Hmm.
something to start with. But eventually, a paid promo, paid service will definitely deliver results.
Absolutely. And those blogs, I think, are so great for even if nobody reads them, which like a lot of people won't read those
Yeah.
blogs that don't, have a ton of monthly readers or anything like that, but it's great for clout still. And that kind of ties into the next question. You talked about knocking on doors and eventually someone, will refer you to another door to knock on and all that. I'm a strong believer if you're not willing to grow though and not willing to adapt to the feedback that you've got, no matter how many doors you knock on, you may still not get an opportunity. It's important to take the feedback you have from them and incorporate that, for them when you go to the next door to knock on. So I guess the question is, how can artists optimize their online presence, their website, even their outreach approach to professionals to increase their chances of getting these opportunities?
As I mentioned earlier as well, excuse me. As I mentioned earlier as well, LinkedIn
Mhm.
is the ultimate spot for you to reach out to industry professionals. Check out LinkedIn groups. Put your song on a link, like a public link that you can actually share. You don't
Right.
even go around asking for people's emails for this kind of purposes. If you want to create an email list, ask, that's fine. But if you want to get feedback on your tune, don't ask for an email because people are not going to give it to you. They're going to be like, okay, cool. Why do you need my email for? Give me the link. I will listen. I'll give you feedback. Simple as. And that's also what really works out the most. So put your song on a SoundCloud link and go onto one of the music groups on LinkedIn or Facebook groups. People are sleeping on Facebook groups. I can't understand why people think, oh, it's no man's land. Yeah, I understand. On Facebook, you don't get to see no more asses or tits or whatnot anymore. Yeah, I understand that because it's dead. Fine. It's for old people now, but at the same time, old people are the ones that are providing valuable feedback for your music. It is no man's land for young people. But if you want to get professional feedback and professional business done, Facebook was live. I'm telling you. Also, I'm creating a lot of business on Facebook too. Love it. Love it. So, as a musician, to wrap up the whole question, as a musician, put your song in the link, SoundCloud link, go to groups on Facebook and LinkedIn and ask for feedback. Hey, I have this song and I would love you guys to listen and give me a feedback about what can I improve? What
Right.
can I enhance to make it sound better? What can I do? Tell me, please. Like I need help. And I promise you, 9 out of 10 times you're going to get enormous amount of feedback. Some are going to be good, some are going to be bad, but you need to filter out and get the ones that are useful to be able to alter, enhance your music to make it better. Simple formula, but it works.
Absolutely. Yeah, I got nothing to add there. I totally agree with you. And Facebook groups, that's something we do too. I think
Yeah.
I mean, with Instagram, you can't, I mean, I think lately they've added some stuff, but before you couldn't really have I know you could have groups on it, but it didn't have the abilities that the Facebook groups have in terms of even polls, which is one that I love and stuff like that. And so again, that kind of goes back to what we touched on earlier. Each platform is so different. As much as they seem similar and as much as your audience might be on them all, the features of each platform are different. The mindset that they're in when they're using each platform is different. So totally agree with what you said there.
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
the last question I have on music promotion is, are there any unique or alternative promotional strategies that independent artists can use to stand out in a crowded music landscape? And you touched on LinkedIn, which I think is totally one. You touched on Facebook groups, which I think is totally one too. Are there any, ones that are maybe lesser known, but that are going to be, so fruitful, so to speak?
I mean, there is actually, again, it all ties into the same thing, but there is a tool that I personally used.
Okay.
This tool helped me out so much. It's called HypeEdit. Ever heard?
Hype Edit?
Yeah.
Can't say I have, no.
I think it's a Dutch company.
Okay.
Hype hypeedit.com. It's a platform. It's just a normal website platform. Call it whatever you like. It provides you with a dashboard where you can add your music, upload the MP3, type the name. You don't even have to pay for it. Obviously, there's a pro version as well, which you can pay money and get more features,
Right.
which is great. But the free version does the job as well. So the free version, I'm talking about, no money is involved for all the indie artists. I'm giving value here, so please capture this. Hypeedit.com. Add your music, add your artwork, and I believe that's all that is. Yeah, that's it. Add your music, add your artwork, and what it gives you with the free version is it allows you to get a link, place it on your SoundCloud,
Okay.
where where it says buy this song on SoundCloud.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
On the free version of SoundCloud is that's where you place the link. So you then turn around and get that link, attach it to a video on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. So people are going to listen to 50, 20 seconds version of that song, and they're going to click on that link to download it for free.
Mm-hmm.
They have to click on that link that you just created on HypeEdit. So what then happens is if they really want to download that tune, they have to follow you on SoundCloud or whatever platform you desire for them to follow you. It could be follow me on YouTube. On the pro version, you can add multiple links: YouTube, Spotify, blah, blah, Instagram, blah, blah, blah. On the free
Right.
version, it only consists of SoundCloud follow. But on the pro version, you can add multiple links. They
Okay.
have to, if they really want to get this free song from you, which no one and everyone loves free stuff. If the song is good, you're winning. Now you're getting free followers on all your social media platforms. And people are downloading the free tune. They're loving it. They didn't pay a single penny for it. And all they had to do was to follow you on your social media platforms. Now, get that video, insert that link, and then share it all over. And do this multiple times a week. And trust me, the results will amaze you.
Yeah. Awesome. That's great advice. It's kind of using it's like how do I word this? I like to use social media as like a discovery method, and then we use our email list as the nurturing method. And that's the same thing, except instead of an email list, it's your social platform that is going to nurture them along. And that that clip is the discovery method. So great tactic. Hype Edit. I'm gonna check that out too.
It is amazing. Pro version, I forgot to mention, Pro version also allows you to capture emails.
Oh, there you go.
It gives you, like, if they really want to download the song, they have to give you their emails, which helps you also to create your own email list and follow you on as many links as you want, as many links as you provide. They have to follow you if they want to download the tune. That's it.
Right on. Very cool. Well, that brings us to the end of the topic of music promotion. Is there anything you'd like to add, or maybe anything you were hoping I was going to ask and didn't regarding music promotion?
I don't have any more questions, but I can say, don't think as a musician that someone's going to come and discover you in your bedroom. It's just
Mhm.
not going to happen. It is not going to happen. I promise you that had never happened. And if you heard a story like someone has been discovered, trust me when I say that person has put in the work and finally they got discovered. Justin
Yeah.
Bieber talked about this. Justin Bieber was publishing videos on YouTube, him drumming all day, and then someone sent that video to Usher, and then Usher discovered him playing the drums and singing. Now, Usher didn't discover Justin Bieber sitting in his bedroom thinking, when am I going to get discovered? That didn't happen. He discovered them on YouTube, and he was paying money to promote himself on YouTube. And his video went viral and landed on the right hands. the rest is history. So yeah, just pay money, do your promotion, don't wait, just keep on going.
Yeah, you got to create your own opportunities. And
Yes,
again, I've said this so many times too, but no one is going to offer you something life altering without you first putting in the hard work.
exactly.
Yeah, awesome. Let's wrap up music promotion there and let's keep the event rolling into talking about sync now, sync licensing, which is obviously extremely popular for many reasons, including the potentially large return it can bring. And also the fact, it's quite cool if you're able to get your music featured in a Hollywood film, on Netflix, in commercials with big brands, and all that. But with that, there's a lot of competition with it. So the first question is, how can music creatives land a sync deal? And I guess building off that, should they get their music on sync libraries? Should they get a sync agent? Should they pitch directly to music supervisors? I'll leave that open to yourself.
I would say all of the above, really.
Okay.
All of the above. There is not one that goes without the other. They all go hand in hand. And it all also depends on the type of music that because if you're making library music, you're not going to be able to pitch it to elsewhere but a library musician. You know what I mean? There are library music supervisors, they specifically focus on that. And there are also other sync
Mm,
agencies that focus on a whole bunch of other genres. You know what I mean?
right.
So, but at the same time, they all go hand in. Some companies they focus on both. They get also normal instrumentals or normal full songs, also library music as well. Like we work with all of these people, and some focus on one, some focus on all. So all go hand in hand.
Okay. Are there any red flags I'll say to look out for? Let's say if a sync library wants exclusive, an exclusive agreement for that song, are there any red flags like that artists should look out for? Is it just about knowing exactly what they're getting themselves in for?
I mean, I don't think we can say that that's a red flag, even if a company is asking for exclusivity. By the way, which we don't. We don't want exclusivity. We don't. It's non-exclusive. All of our agreements.
Mhm.
But if a company is asking for exclusivity, I don't think we should consider that as a red flag. But I would say let's read the agreement properly, and also let's have a look at their results properly. If they have been good at delivering results, then why not make it exclusive with this company, which are already delivering results? I think
That's
it's a
right.
win-win. Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't necessarily mean red flag, like an exclusive agreement is, because obviously they
Yeah,
can be
that's
very
fine.
beneficial. I just meant like, is there anything that they should be wary of before just giving their music?
Yeah, just
You know,
definitely just read the contract properly. Like read the contract properly. There are like we offer contract. Everyone offer contracts.
Mhm.
There's contracts here. Like you just get a lawyer, read it properly, and understand that you acknowledge every single line. You know, some companies out there, when you're submitting music, they are asking an arm and like that's not enough, and a leg as well. And then they turn around and ask you for your publishing, 50% of your publishing too, and a commission from the initial price.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, is there anything else you want? Because like you're literally taking like 75% of all my earnings. What else is left there, bro?
Mhm.
I just don't want to sing my tune with you. You know, I don't want to do with you now. So this is why with diverse beats, with us, we don't touch your publishing. We don't want your royalties. And we take a fairly small percentage from your initial price. And our deal is non-exclusive. There's no exclusivity. You
Mhm.
can pitch the same song elsewhere as well. Because I personally, my own perspective in life is I don't believe in limitations. So
Right.
I don't want to limit people either. The limitations are created in our brain and they stay there. And if you carry on believing in the limits, you're going to live a limited life. So eliminate all the limits, just like I eliminate all the limits in my businesses. So why should I limit my artist that I'm trying to work with? What's the point? Let them go, let them flourish. Maybe the tune, that song that they submitted to me, maybe I may not be able to sing it, but maybe another company will sing it. And it's good for the artists. Yes,
Right.
we all want to make money, but at the same time, we want to flourish. We want to see people succeed in their careers. And that makes me happy, you know?
Absolutely. Well, not everyone wants to see that, unfortunately, but I know you do, and I share that
I
with
do,
you. We're all
yeah.
about artist empowerment. So yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome. So you kind of mentioned doing everything there, supervisors, libraries, and all that. Let's go down the music supervisor route for a bit. Are there specific things they look for or necessities that, tracks need to have for an increased chance of getting placed?
of course, definitely. So quality is number one.
Okay. Right.
That's why we reject a lot of submissions on daily basis to diverse beat sync side of the story. We reject a lot of tunes because simply the quality is not there.
Hmm.
Yes, we take an upfront fee, but we only take an upfront fee, which is very affordable, by the way. We only take that money from the artists that we believe that the quality is there and that we believe that we can work with their music. So number one, quality is very important, very, very important. So mix and mastering, the composition, obviously, that's number one, but the mixing and mastering, the radio quality has to be there.
Hmm.
Now, number two, this is number two, and number two is the most crucial one. Your song should be telling a story. Stories are very important when it comes to syncing music. Very important, because what do you see in movies? Stories. What do you see in advertisement? Stories. There's always a storyline. There's always something written that was then turned around and transformed into a movie, a picture. So the music needs to complement the picture. And what does that tell you? It's a story. So this song needs to tell a story that is being told in the movie or the picture, whatever it is. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean exactly. And so I guess in a movie or in a commercial, the song is there to supplement what is going on the screen. So is it important that the song is not going to overshadow the uh,
They won't
video
allow that.
aspect too?
They will
Sorry?
not allow that. They will
They
not
won't.
allow the song to overshadow the picture anyway. They will not allow that. Never. It's always a background theme. It's always a
Right.
background in the background, but it needs to complement the picture itself, the movie or the advertisement itself. You know what I mean? Like it
Hmm.
has to complement. They have to go together.
Right.
That's a
Well,
very crucial part.
absolutely. Would you say songs that maybe have more instrumentals do better, or is there any like other key component you see too, in addition to
Um,
telling a story?
yeah, sure. So instrumentals are definitely mm, desired more,
Okay.
most mostly, as we can hear in most movies or most advertisements. But then songs, proper songs with lyrics on them are also desirable as well. Um, I cannot really say which one is definitely 100% more desired, but from our experience, instrumentals are doing quite fine, but also the
Okay.
songs with lyrics are also doing quite good as well. So the chances are, in my opinion, it depends on the project that's looking for a song. It all depends on
Right.
the project.
Fair.
Yeah.
So, what are some successful or specific strategies to get placed in film, TV shows, commercials, or other media?
Um, so just like I said earlier, it ties into the same thing.
Hmm.
You need
I
to
know a
make
lot of these
sure
questions are similar, but
exactly,
I'll
exactly.
leave it if you have anything to add.
Not a problem at all. It's exactly the same thing I said earlier as well. You need to make sure that you have a consistent quality of music coming through all the time. One of your songs could be here, but your next song shouldn't be there. It should be exactly there. It shouldn't be there either,
Right.
because now this one is being overshadowed the one that's there. But if you want to take it there, make sure your next track is going to be there as well. You know what I mean? Like you need to have a constant a line that you're sustaining, and it has to be there all the time. And also, like I said earlier as well, a storyline, music, lyrics, whatever you have, or if it's an instrumental, a cinematic composition, you can
Hmm.
definitely tell a story with the composition. A cinematic song as well. It starts very slow and then it gets really hype and it gets dark and then it gets cold and then you go back to the outro where it gets cooler again. So we've heard millions of examples of this in Hans Zimmer, one of my favorite composers,
Mm,
hands down one of the best cinematic composers. I love the guy. I love his music. So definitely, yeah, storyline important.
absolutely. So let's say uh, an artist wanted to go the route of maybe pitching their song themselves to a music supervisor, for example, is there a way, or I guess steps that they can take to build relationships with music supervisors? And would you have any advice for them on pitching that song directly to them? Would you, first of all, I guess, would you advise they do that? And second of all, if so, how can they?
So obviously, I will definitely advise that. Just because I have a company that's making money from this business doesn't mean that I'm not gonna. Doesn't mean I'm gonna say, "Oh no, don't go to them. It's wrong." No, of course you can try it. Like, go
Right.
try it. That's how you're gonna find out whether if you should be doing it or not. That's why you will come back to me. But yeah, you definitely. All jokes aside, just go and try to make these contacts yourself if you're willing to do it. But ultimately, that might backfire purely because these people are very busy. They don't know who you really are. And if your music is not quite there, now you are going to blow the only chance you had to be able to in touch with these people, because now they're going to be like, who are you?
Mhm.
Okay, let me listen to your music. And if they don't like what they hear, they're not even going to get back to you. They're
Right.
not even going to, and if they won't get back to you, that means 9 out of 10 times your next chance is not even going to happen, because now they're blacklisted you. This happens. It's cruel. I know it is cruel, but so is music industry and so is life. And it's
Mhm.
real. People do that. Like, I've done it so many times.
We have a blacklist. Like,
We all
it's
do.
yeah.
It's just not going to happen. If your quality is not there and if you're spamming me, then I'm going to put you in the blacklist, because I'm not going to allow you to spam me all the time. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, the music business is all about relationships, and once you burn one bridge, it's not great, because not only did you burn a bridge with them, but because it's such a connected industry, you may share that to your net, to your connections and all that. Because if somebody comes to you and says, "How is so and so?" Right? If you say, "Oh yeah, they're great," when you have them blacklisted, and they go chatting with them, that reflects bad on you, right? So it's like one black being on any blacklist is not good, but especially in the music business where everything is so connected. So yeah, definitely don't burn bridges in this business.
dude, let's put that aside. Even if you get on a blacklist of a club,
Yeah.
a
Okay.
nightclub,
Yeah.
even that can lead to multiple nightclubs blacklists, because
Hmm.
they are also connected.
Yeah.
It's a real story, man.
It is. I mean, yeah, I mean, first-hand experience with the music side of it. I don't club myself, but I can speak on the music business side for sure.
I did for 22 years. I
Right.
mean, I worked as a DJ, but
DJ
yeah,
for sure.
crazy, crazy.
I can imagine. I bet you have quite a few good stories too. But we'll stay on track for now. So, um, you touched about what songs need. They need quality. They need a storyline. I can imagine if songs don't have that, that's a mistake. But are there any other big mistakes to avoid when, trying to get your music synced?
Um, if your song is not ready, which you can think that it's never ready, and I totally agree with that. By the way, it is never done. It is never ready.
Hmm.
But also, don't go trying to pitch a song that you've worked on it all night and then in the morning without listening to it again, which, by the way, most of the time sounds absolutely terrible. Don't go pitching that song. Don't try it, because
Right.
that song is not the correct song that you should be pitching around, because purely because this is a crucial point. If you're trying to work on a song all night long, non-stop for 6 hours, do you know and are you aware of the fact that your ears at one point were full, and now you're not hearing anything, and whatever you're hearing is sounding good to you, like, oh my god, I am the shit, I'm doing this. No, you are not the shit, but what you are working on is absolutely shit because you're not hearing it correctly. And this is where, like, I'll make this mistake multiple times. Ask me, that's how I know it, because I've done it myself.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Most musicians did this in the beginning of their career. If you're trying to work on a song for several hours, after a certain time, because your ears are full, you're hearing everything wrong. So give it a break, go out, come back, or maybe sleep and come back to it the next day and try to work on that song. Let's just say, for example, a month or a week or 2 weeks. But don't finish a song in 2 days and expect it to be a hit record and then turn around and try to pitch it. Even if that happens, it's a very, very, very rare occasion. Very rare.
Right.
So that will be it.
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah.
So in terms of payment for sync, when an artist gets a song placed, how does payment work? Do they get an upfront
So yeah,
whatever, I can't think of the word, or do they get like royalties, or how does that work?
yeah. So how it works is quite simple. If any of your song or your songs get synced to anything, let's just say for a movie right now, for instance, for argument's sake,
Sure.
your movie has gotten synced to a movie, so there is definitely a initial price that you get. For example, let's just say $100,000 for this particular picture in the movie, for this moment. That's going to last 30 seconds, and your song is being used for 30 seconds in that part of that movie, and that price was $100,000. If you're working with us or any other company that's pitching your songs to these movies for you, there's a percentage that we will get. We personally take 30%. Some companies take 50. Some companies take 60, 70, and they leave you with little to nothing. Now, we don't take, like I said earlier as well, we don't take any royalties from you. But here is what we say before we even take your money from you or take your music from you. Are you registered as an artist to one of the associations that are working within your territory? They're established within your territory. So in America, ASCAP, in the UK, PRS, in Canada, what's the name again?
SOCAN.
That's the one. Yeah. So every country, every territory has its own association that collects the royalties and the mechanical rights of an artist, the performance rights, and everything is being collected by these people. If you are not registered, we are not taking your music. We are not taking your upfront fee. We're not taking anything from you. First, go and register, get your paperwork intact, and then come back to me, because we like to do things properly here. And all that is done, I'm taking my 30% commission from you. Now, the company that you're working with are collecting your royalties, and those royalties coming into your account quarterly. There are 4 quarters in a year: first, second, third, fourth. Every quarter, you are getting your royalties from these movies or the advertisements your music was synced to. Your performance royalties and your mechanical royalties, you're getting everything collected and deposited into your bank account through these associations, and that's pretty much it.
So you mentioned like 100,000 there, which I know a lot of artists' eyes are going to light up when they hear that. Is that a number that is realistic for, a big placement in a movie?
Yeah. Some of them, look, it varies. Some of the opportunities that come to us are like 5K. I'm still going to take my 30%. Even if it's 1,000, I'm still going to take my 30%. But some of them are 100, some of them are 80, some of them are 60, 50, 40. It depends.
Right.
Because every project has a different budget for it.
Sure.
So there is no one really can tell what is going to be next, but there is always a budget. Some of them are small, some of them are big.
Yeah. So if we're talking like a Netflix movie, let's say, is that something that is going to be on the higher end of it, the budgets normally? Yeah.
Maybe Hulu, maybe Marvel, maybe DC.
Right.
You never know.
You never know. All right. Well, that's kind of, all the questions I had for sync licensing. Is there anything you'd like to add on to it?
Yeah, of course. So here is what I would like to add. Put me as an entrepreneur aside and see me as a musician. I have been in the music for a very long time, making music, playing music, promoting music. As a musician, I'm talking to you guys, or to the artists. Do not be scared in investing your money to promoting your music. I'm not talking about come to me, come to me. No, go to other companies, just go, but invest, spend your money, because nobody is going to hear you from your bedroom. It's just not going to happen. Look, let me give you a small strategy. Create business cards or flyers. If you live in America, Canada, Africa, Germany, France, wherever you're living, create cards, have QR codes, QR codes have on them, and then go out to the most busy streets in your country, in your city, and start distributing them around. And actually stop someone, try to have a conversation with these people, have a stack of those cards in your hand. They're going to understand you're hustling, you're trying to do something. They're going to understand it. So someone's going to stop eventually.
Yep.
Get this person to pull out their phone, get them to scan that QR code, and that QR code should lead that person to your Spotify or to this or to that. Like, do this, do your own promotion, invest $300-$200 into creating a stack, 1,000 flyers with QR codes with a nice design, and that QR code directs people to your whatever platform you want to promote. Do that, but do it. Don't be afraid. Promote your music. This is the only way you are going to get out there. There is no other way.
Well said. And that's kind of almost like door-to-door sales, and door-to-door sales still work, which is why companies still do it all the time. So definitely. And when we actually did that, we maybe 2 years ago, we went around handing out flyers, and what we would do too is on the QR code, we would set up a UTM tracking link so that we can see who clicked it. And then from that, we had, back end technology. Hotjar is one we use to see how people to see how people interact on the website. And then from that, you can use that data to make changes. So maybe if you handed out 1,000 cards and 20 people clicked on it, well, maybe the call to action could be better above the QR code or something like that. So you get information to tweak it. And then when you look at Hotjar, which for those of you that don't know, it allows you to see a visual representation basically of how people interact on your website. So if they are scrolling by your main offer, for example, which could be to stream your new song, then you can maybe make that strip or section on the web page a little more enticing. So it's about hustling. It's about having a hustle mentality off the start, and especially with a low or an indie budget, as we often phrase it. And I think you hit the nail on the head with that, and throughout this entire webinar. So I appreciate you hopping on here. Thank you for your wise words. You've shared an incredible amount of advice, and I know our community is going to love it. So on behalf of our community, on behalf of your community, I would like to thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. And for those listening in, I want to let you know that you can learn more about Serhat and his businesses below the video or in the description. Is there anything else you would like to share before we conclude?
Thank you very much for having me here. It was a pleasure, and talking to you is always a pleasure. Mac, definitely, you're a great person yourself, and yeah, looking forward to come back here next time in the future.
Absolutely, you're always welcome.
Thank you very much.
No
See
worries.
you later.
No worries. Take care.